I purchased a car last year, and it came down to these two famous models. The year was 2025 Honda Accord, or the new at the time 2025 Toyota Camry. So I didn't know much about either, so I did my research, and that's what I'm going to present to you now. Some of the research I did. So there's going to be no special road test. No walking around the car lot showing you the cars. Basically, I'm just going to give you a bunch of facts, specs, so you don't have to look it up. If that's something you're interested in, stick around. I want to emphasize that this comparison is dealing with only the hybrid version of the Accord, because the Accord has lower models that are strictly gas engines without the electric hybrid battery. On the other hand, the Toyota Camry, all of their trim levels are now hybrid, including their lowest line, the LE. We're going to build a type of bar graph here, and we'll see which car has more points at the end. Starting with the Honda Accord, it's more of a driver's car. The acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which is a very common test of cars. The Honda wins 6.6 seconds, and the Toyota is trailing at 7.1 seconds. They're both fairly quick cars with the new hybrid system. They're both considered pretty good acceleration for around town driving. These are not racing cars, these are not sports cars, but for the type of cars they are, four-door sedans, this type of acceleration is pretty good. Just to give you an idea, my 1980 Mustang 5.0 did 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. So, considerably quicker, but these aren't so far behind. The current car I'm driving right now is a 2002 Pontiac Trans Am Firebird WS6. So I know a thing or two about good acceleration. So here, even though the Honda is faster from 0 to 60, this is an interesting spec, and that is from the very important, in my opinion, passing speed from 45 to 65 when you're on the freeway or getting onto a ramp and you really want to put the pedal to the metal, as they say. The Toyota is slightly faster. People might say, come on, it's 0.1 seconds. Yeah, but the Toyota, which I've already driven, it's already a weakness of this particular car. Like I said, around town, both cars have excellent acceleration when that hybrid battery kicks in, but freeway passing is not their strength. So every 0.1 second counts, in my opinion. So the Toyota, surprisingly, is slightly faster than the Honda. Again, the Honda is more of a driver's car. The next section that goes to the Honda is called lateral acceleration. You're probably more familiar with just handling. And I believe they're measuring how flat the car stays at speed. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a complete car techie guy. But the Honda is better by a margin, 0.87 Gs, and the Toyota is 0.82 Gs. So that is a difference there. And just to give you an idea, a real sports car is like a 1.0 Gs. So these are not sports cars, but the Honda does win in this category. Next, we have a point for the Toyota, and that's the turning circle. If you've ever been in a parking lot and you're trying to make a tight turn without having to back up, put the car in reverse, you know what I'm talking about? So the Toyota is 37.4 feet, and the Honda is a little more at 38.4. Again, every inch counts if you don't want to put the car in reverse. Talking about steering, by the way, these are not my findings from test rides. These are findings that I've gotten from car magazines and articles on the web. So steering feel, probably they mean a tighter, sportier steering feel, and that goes to Honda. Again, the next area of comparison is features, amenities. Again, this is not my opinion from testing the two cars. This is just what I've gotten from research, and the point goes for Toyota in that category. Continuing talking about the higher performing car, very important area, braking distance. So they measure from 60 miles an hour to zero. And the Honda wins at 121 feet. The Camry is 125 feet. So that's in a very important area, in my opinion. In the same vein, talking about safety, lane keeping assistance. People who haven't bought a new car in the last 10 years or something, you don't know what you're missing. You got to test ride it. It's really incredible new technology. And basically what it is, when you set the cruise control, it's not complete automatic driving like Tesla is working on, but it's pretty close. You can take your hands off the wheel and the car, obviously at cruise control, will stay at the steady speed. But the car also will brake when you get too close to the car in front of you. And the car, this is the amazing part, it goes around turns. It follows the curves in the road. Now, the catch is it's not complete self-driving. I timed it. I could take my hands off the wheel about 10 seconds. But when you're going on a long trip, freeway driving, it really takes away fatigue. So to me, this is a very, very important area. And it can be a safety feature because you can get lazy and thinking it's perfect, but you got to keep you on it. So that's where Toyota wins here. And to me, this is an important win. It's been reported the Honda has had some reported problems in their lane keeping technology and even completely leaving a lane. When you leave a lane, that means, a potential meeting another car in the next lane. So Toyota, this is an important win for the Toyota Camry. Not so much a safety issue, engine NVH. NVH stands for noise, vibration, harshness. Just how comfortable the car is, and Honda gets the point in that category. I'm not so sure the next category maybe should be under NVH also, but where they've rated driver comfort, Honda gets the point. Now, I'm also looking for a second car, and I'm looking very seriously at the Honda Civic, and I did test ride it, and the seat was very, very comfortable, more comfortable than what I've experienced with the Camry. But I haven't really done much driving with the Accord, so I can't compare those two directly. Next category, transmission. I read only one source, so I'm not 100% sure about this one. They rated the Honda higher, but both transmissions are electronic CVT. So don't be fooled where you've heard horror stories about a CVT transmission. Mainly Nissan has a very bad rep. These new CVTs, mainly I'm thinking about the Toyota because I watched some YouTube videos about it. They say all those this new type of transmission is very different, and you don't have to worry about that issue. And these are really reliable transmissions. But in this case, they're claiming the Honda is a little higher. Or maybe they're just talking about the feel of the transmission, the way it shifts. The next winning point for the Camry is not something that will affect all buyers, and that's the fact that the Camry is offered with all-wheel drive as an option, and the Honda Accord doesn't have that option. Many people who don't live in snow areas wouldn't want the extra expense, but I have heard that the all-wheel drive option on the Camry does increase the acceleration a little bit, the horsepower. So that's something to keep in mind. But it also affects the miles per gallon, MPG. It lowers it slightly. But like I said, that's not going to be a factor for many people because some people need it and many people don't. Our bar on the Honda is starting to leave the Camry behind, but let's continue. Another win for the Honda Accord is roadside assistance that's given as part of the purchase price. Honda gives you 3 years, 36,000 miles, where the Toyota gives you 2 years, unlimited miles. Personally, this doesn't affect me because I have AAA for many years, but if you don't have AAA that you pay out of pocket, this is pretty nice. Well, free roadside assistance for the first 2 or 3 years. Okay, here comes a big win or a big deciding factor. MPG, miles per gallon. How often do you have to stop at the gas station? Because these hybrids, if you don't know, They're not electric cars. They have electric batteries, but they still have gas engines also. So the Toyota wins at 47 mpg, the Honda at 44. Close, but there is a difference there. And, gas continues to go up. So this is definitely a big deciding factor for many people. I know it is for myself. In the same discussion of MPG, miles per gallon, it's important to also look at range when you're comparing two cars. So the Toyota gets the point here, 611 miles on one tank of gas, and the Honda is 563 miles. So that's 48 miles difference. And I'm just thinking of an example. You're riding through the mountains at one of the national parks, and it's at night, and you're trying to get out of the park, and the next gas station is many miles away. Well, those extra 48 miles might be the difference between being on the side of the road. So this is pretty important. And just to give you a comparison's sake, the new electric cars, I believe the range is pretty much averaging like 300 or maybe 400 miles. So still, when you're getting these hybrid cars, this is a feature that people are buying the hybrid over electric because they don't want to stop at the charging station. Something to keep in mind. The Honda Accord overall is a slightly roomier car. So here, the cargo trunk space, Honda wins that category, 16.7 cubic feet, Toyota 15.1. I'm not sure if that's a huge selling decision, but for some people, obviously, it would be. Headroom in the rear, Toyota gets the point at 37.6 inches. Honda is 37.2. Again, very close, but if you have a 6 feet plus passenger, that little bit of extra difference might be the difference between his head or her head rubbing the headliner. So the win goes for Toyota there. On the other hand, shoulder room in the rear, Honda gets a point, 56.5 inches, where Toyota has 55.7. So especially when you're having three people in the rear seat, that little bit of difference could be something you want to consider. Next category is not such a small difference. The point goes to Honda, and that is leg room in the rear. And Honda has 40.8 inches, Toyota at 38 inches. So again, that 6 foot passenger with those long legs, they're going to be more comfortable in the Honda, even though their head might be hitting the headliner. Next category is so important with cars being so expensive these days. I've just read that the average price is now $50,000. Crazy. And these particular cars that we're discussing here are in the $40,000 range after your out the door price. So the big win goes for Toyota, quality, reliability. And I didn't write down which exactly source I got it from, but I got this particular area from a number of sources I'll share with you. But Toyota scored 86, and Honda was trailing by not an insignificant amount at 79 points. Another very important area that I look at personally, because I keep my cars for a while. Like I mentioned, I have a 2002 Pontiac Trans Am that I bought new. So obviously I keep my cars for a while. But anyway, repair costs. So this is from Consumers Reports, their reliability ratings over 10 years. So over 10 years, the Toyota, now this is not specific to the Camry and the Accord. This is just talking about the brand, the average cost to maintain. So over 10 years, the Toyota is less, $5,445. With the Honda will be more money to keep it on the road, $6,684. Doing the math is $1,239 difference. So the win goes to Toyota there for repair costs over 10 years. A great strength of both cars is their resale value, and Honda slightly ahead at 87 points. Toyota scored at 85, but it's a big reason why I'm considering one of these two cars, or actually considered, because I already bought one. You'll find out soon. Anyway, after 10 years, 15 years, can you still get any money out of it when you go to trade it in? Both cars are excellent. Honda's slightly better. This is another source dealing with quality, reliability, but it's JD Power. They're a very famous company online that ranks cars. So for their best mid-side car of 2025, the Toyota Camry is number 1 at 83 points, and the Honda Accord is number 3 at 81 points. I don't remember which car was number 2, but Toyota also, in the last couple of years, definitely in 2024, outsold the Honda Accord. I don't know if the next point is actually valid in comparing the two cars, but I think it's at least something to bring up. And that is Toyota has been working on the hybrid development since 1997, the year the Prius came out. So that's 28 years. Honda, I'm not sure how many years they've been working on hybrids, but I know it's not 28 years. So I don't know if that's something you want to judge the two cars by, but I just kind of lumped it in with Toyota reliability, especially of the hybrid system. The weight of the vehicles, Toyota is slightly heavier at 3,620 pounds. The Honda is 3,506 pounds. Well, in most cases, you would want a lighter car to get better gas mileage, but here we have the Camry getting better gas mileage. The Honda is a smoother riding car, so you might think that the heavier car would be smoother riding. So I'm just putting it in the Toyota column because maybe it comes down to safety. If anything happens, the extra weight could be to your advantage. Of course, price is different in different parts of the country, but just from my own personal experience, I mentioned that I am looking for a brand new Civic, the 2025 hybrid, and it's basically the same price as the low-level Camry LE, and that's a bigger car. That's a mid-sized car, where the Civic is your, what do they call it, a compact car, but it's more expensive. So as far as Camry compared to Accord, I'm not 100% sure which one you're going to get the better deal for. It depends on your area. Next category, I'm going to kind of put it in the middle because I'm not sure. It's kind of an opinion question answer. But tires/wheels, Honda has 19-inch wheels, Toyota has 18. So the reason why I'm leaving it up to your opinion is if you're looking for looks, most people will go with the larger wheel, the 19-inch Honda. It fills in the wheel better, and it looks sportier look, the more modern look. But on the other side of the coin, when you damage a wheel, an 18-inch wheel is usually less expensive than a 19-inch wheel. And also in the same vein, when you're going to get tires, which you're going to need a couple of sets if you're going to keep your car, as long as I keep my cars, 18-inch tires will always be cheaper, less expensive than 19-inch tires. So this is an opinion, but a little fact that I thought I would throw out there you should know. And of course, one of the most important areas of a car purchase decision is looks. So this is strictly my opinion, and everybody's opinion is different when they're putting down their hard-earned cash. The Honda Accord, in my opinion, has changed their look. So just from one year to another. In the 2025 model, the front end, I'm not so crazy about it. I'm going to give that to the Toyota. It looks more modern. Some people say the Toyota kind of looks like a shark, the head of a shark. Maybe you don't like that look. The rear end, I'm not crazy about the new Accord. I like the previous generation much better. So I'm going to give that win to the Toyota. The interior is it's about your opinion. I like the Toyota Camrys, how the screen integrates. It just kind of flows into the look, where the Honda Accord, the screen is kind of like an iPad that's just sticking up that was glued in midair. Kind of an older look, actually, in my opinion. And the wheels, I definitely think the wheels are nicer on the Accord. Again, just my opinion. So that's why I put this particular category in the middle. No one could tell you which one you like better as far as looks. Wow, surprising results on our bar graph. You know, I never did this before making the video, so this is my first time doing it with you. So look at that results, even, dead even. You know, these two cars are so close that it really comes down to each person's personal. They're both excellent cars. What you need, you know, what stands out for me is the Honda is more of a driver's car, more performance, where the Toyota has, you know, that better miles per gallon, better reliability. So it's super close. Both super comfortable cars, both the highest technology out there as far as hybrids. For some people aren't ready to go to full electric. I know I'm not. You know, I was looking at electric cars, and you know, the Tesla has an 8-year warranty, 100,000 8-year warranty on the battery. What happens after 8 years? I keep my cars 10 years plus. You know how expensive those batteries are. I've heard could be $15,000. Some people, when the battery goes, they throw the car away. So anyway, that's why many people, including the people watching this video and myself, are sticking with hybrids for the near future until the electric car really is ready for the mainstream, as they say. After I made the bar graph, I remembered an important question. Does the Accord have a spare tire as standard equipment? And the answer, I looked it up, is no, it does not. The Camry does. So that is definitely a factor to consider. So that's $320 on Amazon before tax. Not an insignificant amount. And I don't know about how people feel about Amazon. Some people want better quality. It'll be more money, obviously. But then you also have to consider the hassle if you have to go order something. So again, Toyota Camry, one more point on the bar graph that I didn't put, and that's the spare tire, and the kit comes with it. The battle was long and hard, but here is my winner. I purchased the 2025 SE Camry, and it really came down to looks, just very personal. I prefer the looks of this car over the newer Accord. I found out after I purchased it about the lane tracing assist problem with Honda, so that really would be a concern for me if I was buying one of the two right now, trying to decide. All I can tell you is the Toyota lane tracing is 100%. I feel so comfortable. I can take my hands off the wheel with no doubt that it's going to stay in the lane. It's really amazing technology. The fact that this car gets a slightly better gas mileage is another plus for me. And of course, Toyota, everywhere you read car reviews, Toyota is reliability is over Honda, and it's usually number 2 right behind Lexus. That's a pretty big statement. So that's my purchase, but I was amazed by this test, by how close it was. I didn't realize how close these two cars were. You can't go wrong with either one, so good luck with your purchasing decision. I'm super happy with this car. This is Bill. Hope you enjoyed. It's me again. I forgot. I made a couple of much more detailed videos dealing with my Camry purchase, mentioning the pluses and the minuses, because no car is perfect, as they say. So I'll put the links down below. I encourage you to watch those videos. Happy motoring.